On the last pod, we talked about what was the best team in Manchester.
We did.
Now, here's a question I have to follow up on that. You're right now, of the two players, for the rest of the season, you have to choose one of them to come to Spurs, and you can only get one. Do you take Kevin De Bruyne or Bruno Fernandes?
Kevin De Bruyne.
Why?
Long pause.
Long pause. See, this is where we'd edit this in the podcast, and you listen, you're like, oh, those guys know what they're talking about. It's just like long pauses.
You're putting me on the spot now.
People looking up. And you know what? Normally in the pod, too, we always have our phones, and we're looking up stats. We don't have that today.
It's not based on stats. It's based on like gut feeling. Because, I'll tell you why. Because Kevin De Bruyne has gotten better every game from the start of the season, and now he's showing like why he's the best midfielder in the world, and he's playing really well. Bruno Fernandes looked basically non-existent in the EFL Cup match against City. In the semi like a couple days ago. And for him to just not have any presence in the game, I mean, he should be able to take control of that side and be able to, if he was the best player or better than De Bruyne, he would have showed up for that game.
And that's what Roy Keane said. Roy Keane kind of roasted him. Yeah. He's like, when Eric Cantona was on the field, he made a difference, especially in the big games. I think to be a great player, to be a good player, okay. But to be a great player, you have to show up in the big games. So it's a semifinal, even if it's of the EFL Cup, it's still a semifinal. It's a competitive match. It's a one-off. He doesn't show up. I agree with you. I also think Kevin De Bruyne was just in the top 11 in the world.
Yeah.
So you'd have to take him, even though if you look at the stats right now, Bruno Fernandes in chances created, in goals, and assists, probably in and around the box, I think he may be the best player right now in the Premier League. I could say that, but I'd still take Kevin De Bruyne. I think he also has shown years on years on years of quality in the Premier League, and Bruno Fernandes maybe could be hitting a wall. Maybe the EFL Cup he's starting to get to his peak, and he's played so many minutes since he's come to United.
So I'm going to jump off that point, and I think I think Sky even brought this up, and I might be copying them, but Man United might have a bigger problem season long because they're going to have to rest Bruno Fernandes. Not every game, obviously they can. But he can't play every minute of every game for the rest of the season.
Not without getting injured.
Not without getting injured.
Yes.
So there's a load management issue a little bit with him. And so there's nobody else stepping up and creating chances in that team. And we saw it. When he's not creating chances, when he's not firing, they don't do it. Nothing happens on that team.
Yeah, we mentioned a couple pods ago, and I remember the stat. It was like he's created now 43 or 45 chances. Of all the goals they've scored, he's been involved with 43 or 45. So if he's out of the team, out of the lineup, even for 3 games, they could drop massive points. Massive points.
Yeah. I mean, we say that now. There could be a guy that steps up. I mean, Van de Beek could suddenly find some form. Pogba could start.
Juan Mata's still on the bench.
I mean,
he's got a game or 3 of them. So yeah,
they're not fielding. If Fernandes is off the field, they're not putting out championship players. It's Premier League seasoned Premier League players who are fit and know how to play.
Yeah,
we just may not see the number of chances that Bruno Fernandes is able to create, whether that's through penalties, whether that's through just drawing a foul around the box, putting a through ball, having an assist or actually scoring a goal. It's gonna be tough for Man United down the stretch to continue this kind of relying on one player type of thing. So